Hey, everybody, thanks so much for being here for the Title IX training. We're just going to go through real quick of what Title IX is and what Title IX means here at USI. So first of all, here is the law. You can read it while I chat just a little bit. But at this point, I just want to make it clear that students, people, institutional folks do not violate Title IX. They might violate a policy or a procedure. It is an institution that violates Title IX when we fail as an institution to respond appropriately. So sometimes you'll hear, oh, they violated Title IX. They might have violated a policy. It is an institution that actually violates the law. So just what does the law also say? So if you look, it is not just about athletics. It's all about sex discrimination, including sexual assault. It is, as I said, a federal law. There's all sorts of regulations. For our purposes today, we're going to focus on of what does it mean in regards to sexual harassment here at USI. Right. And the law basically says you can't discriminate based on sex. And part of that discrimination isn't just that, I'm going to give one gender a job over another gender. It's also about sexual harassment, and sexual harassment, including rape, including fondling, including dating and domestic violence, stalking, and in some cases as well, creating that hostile environment or creating that quid pro quo, this for that. Any person, any age, gender identity is also protected under Title IX. So if you identify as a member of the LGBTQ plus population and you feel like you are being discriminated based on your status in that kind of affiliation, that would also be a potential violation of the policies here. At the end of the day, what we know is that folks learn better, work better, are able to reach their goals when they feel like they are being protected, when they are, quote, safe. So that's kind of like Maslow's theory. You need that certain level of hierarchy in order for you to reach your true potential. This is just part of that. Title IX, the law and our policies help folks be able to learn and grow in an environment where everybody is protected. Here at USI, we have a sexual harassment policy. This is how we kind of promulgate Title IX. If you see, it includes sexual assault, dating violence, domestic violence, stalking as well. So when you're looking, regardless of where something happens, so if you are off campus and you are being harassed or there is an incident of sexual violence that is perpetrated against you, this policy would apply regardless if it happens on campus or off campus. So if something happened on campus, obviously we'd want you to come to the Title IX office. If it happens off campus, we would still want you to come to the Title IX office. There will be a response from from the Title IX office. Our response might be limited depending upon who is the person responsible or the respondent, the person who's accused of causing harm. If the respondent is not a community member here at USI, then we might just be able to only offer supportive measures or, maybe a trespass notice, something along those lines. If they are a member of the USI community, that would result in a different kind of response as well. So again, but we want everything, regardless of where it happens, we want it reported to the Title IX office. So also in the policy, we spell out what is prohibited and all the definitions that are in there as well. And you can go on and take a look. But again, that would be sexual harassment, meaning quid pro quo, that this for that harassment, a hostile environment. So somebody's actions are so severe and pervasive that it's preventing you from, your educational opportunities. Again, sexual assault, whether that be rape or fondling, dating violence, domestic violence, stalking. Also, again, I can't stress enough, and we'll see this, how we want folks to come and feel comfortable reporting things to our office. The way in which things work here at USI is everyone who is not confidential is a responsible employee. So if you went to somebody on campus, say it's your RA or say it's a faculty member, and you told them that something happened, they would actually be required to report that to my office. What would then happen is we would reach out to you. You have the kind of ability not to respond. I can't make anybody come in and respond to my emails or come into my office. But what we would want you, A, we want the report because we want to know what's going on campus, but B, we want it because we want to be able to support you and offer you supportive measures. So those supportive measures might include changing your classes, changing your residence hall, escorts, no contact, mutual no contact agreement. So that would be something that could be offered through my office. We also would offer, do you want to go through a grievance process? So after you would sign or complainant signs a formal complaint, there's the option of an informal resolution procedure. That would be both the complainant, the person who has experienced the harm, and the respondent, the person who's accused of causing the harm, of working, you don't have to be in the same room, but coming to some sort of mutual resolution as to the behaviors that happened. When it comes down to a formal response, that would be more of that investigation followed by a hearing as well as an appeal. So again, all of this would be provided, and it really would be the complainant deciding which way they wanted to go. Our policy also has additional considerations. If you look in there, you'll see what we're doing for education. You'll see what we're doing for record keeping and other means as well. So that's our policy in a nutshell. Again, here at USI, there's a couple different reporting options, and I had mentioned this before. If you want things 100% in the vault, I'm never going to find out about it. Those are the folks on the left, that health center, the counseling center, or folks who are off campus. If anybody else who's on campus, whether it be public safety, clearly my office, or again, any other staff member who is not, quote, confidential, those are, if you tell them about an incident, they are going to report it to the Title IX office. Again, you have the right, if something's reported and you are the potential complainant, you are not required to respond to my emails. And even if you come into my office, which I so wish that you do, you would be offered supportive measures. You would have the opportunity or the right to decide whether or not to file a formal complaint and move the process forward. So again, it really kind of, even if you disclose something, really so much of what happens after is still within your control. So I know that this chart is a little bit hard to read. You'll see these around campus, and it just spells out what happens after an incident happens. If you decide to report, if you decide not to report, if you're not quite sure. So again, these are actually being printed. You will see these on campus and kind of this flow chart of what happens next, what happens next, what happens next. Okay. Again, this is just another way to see it. This flow chart is also being created. So you'll see this around campus of if something gets reported, we invite you to come into the office. If you do, you decide whether or not you want to file a formal complaint, or if you just want supportive measures, and kind of takes you through these steps as well, right? So you'll just see more of this education throughout your time here at USI. So how do you report? Always, if there is an emergency, please pick up the phone and call the Department of Public Safety. That first number is the emergency line, right? That second one would be the 1845. That's more along the lines of maybe you want a no contact order to extend off campus. That's when you would call, or maybe you just want to file a formal complaint with public safety. That's certainly your option. If you just want to file within our office, you can call our number. There's also the ability to submit an online report, a Maxient report. It's on our website. You would just say, when you click the Title IX office, it's right on the left-hand side. It says submit a report here. Or if you have your Rave Guardian app, you can also submit a report that way as well. The minute that a report is submitted online, I receive it in my email, and we have about a 2-day limit in which we will reach out to you. So within 48 hours or 2 business days, somebody from the Title IX office will reach out to you upon the submitting of a report. So who's in our office? That's me, Beth Devonshire on the left. I'm the interim coordinator. And over on the right-hand side is Damien, and he is our full-time deputy Title IX coordinator. So one of us will reach out to you. So that's our contact information, our phone numbers, and where we exist on campus as well. So again, some of the most common issues that I have seen when it comes down to behaviors, and we would want reports of all of these so we can respond appropriately. Sometimes what I see or what I believe occurs more commonly on campus and is equally we would want to respond to is that gender-based harassment. What we know is, in looking at data, that is the number one most common incident that happens is sometimes those derogatory comments based on somebody's gender or sexual orientation, kind of slurs based on gender or sexual orientation as well. So those are certainly something that we'd want to respond to. Again, sexual assault, whether it's penetration or inappropriate touching, dating and domestic violence. These are all things in which my office would respond to. When it comes down to sexting, so if there's social media posts that have been shared, please, and you need help in maybe getting those posts down, this is something in which my office can also assist you with as well. And when it comes down to social media, just please, no judgment. I ask you, I implore you, just be careful about what you're sharing with folks on social media. So what else you need to know? Just feel free. If you have questions about this presentation, please give us a call. If you see things around campus, if you have ideas for us, let us know. We're going to be having more trainings. We ask that you participate in those, and we're always happy to come and talk with folks as well. So that is all I have. Thanks so much for listening. And hopefully that's just the start of the conversation and not the end of it.